The restaurant glowed with warm evening light streaming through tall windows. Amanda Wells sat across from her blind date, already calculating how soon she could politely leave. At 34, she'd agreed to this setup reluctantly, and now, 20 minutes in, her instincts were screaming that it was a mistake. His name was Ryan Carter, and he'd seemed fine at first. Attractive, well-spoken, reasonable conversation. But something felt off. He kept checking his phone, seeming distracted, answering her questions with brief responses before falling silent. "I'm sorry," Amanda finally said. "Are you waiting for an important call?" "You seem preoccupied." Ryan looked up guiltily. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have agreed to this tonight. My sitter canceled last minute and my friend is watching my daughter. I'm just worried because she doesn't know him well and—" He stopped. "I should probably just go." "You have a daughter?" Amanda asked. "Yeah, Emma. She's 4. This is the first date I've been on since her mother passed away 2 years ago. My friend insisted I needed to get out there, but I'm realizing I'm not ready. I'm sorry for wasting your time." Amanda saw the exhaustion in his face, the guilt, the love for his daughter warring with the pressure to move on. She recognized it because she'd been there herself. Not with a child, but with her own grief after her fiancé had died 3 years ago. "Don't apologize," Amanda said. "I understand more than you think. My fiancé died in a motorcycle accident. I know what it's like when people push you to date before you're ready." Ryan's expression shifted to understanding. "Then you know this feels impossible. Like I'm betraying her memory. Like no one will understand why I'm not over it yet." 2 years isn't that long," Amanda said gently. "Especially when you're raising a child alone. You don't have time to properly grieve because you're too busy being everything to someone who needs you?" "Exactly." Ryan's phone buzzed again. He checked it and his face tightened with worry. "Emma's upset. She's asking for me. I really should go," Amanda said. "Your daughter needs you." "That's more important than a blind date neither of us was ready for." Ryan stood, looking relieved and apologetic. "Thank you for understanding. I'm sorry this was such a disaster." "It wasn't a disaster. It was honest. That's better than most first dates." As Ryan reached the door, Amanda found herself calling out. "Ryan, wait," he turned. "This is going to sound strange, but would you like company? I mean, if Emma's upset and your friend is struggling, maybe an extra pair of hands would help? I'm a pediatric nurse. I'm good with kids and medical emergencies." Ryan studied her. "You'd do that? Give up your evening to help with a stranger's kid?" "I'd rather do that than sit home alone feeling sorry for myself, which was my plan after this date ended anyway." Something shifted in Ryan's expression. Surprise, gratitude, the beginning of hope. "Okay, yeah, that would actually be really helpful." They took separate cars to Ryan's apartment. Inside, Amanda found chaos. Ryan's friend Jake looking frazzled, and a little girl with curly blonde hair sobbing on the couch, clutching a stuffed elephant. "Daddy!" Emma cried, launching herself at Ryan. He scooped her up. "Hey, baby. I'm here. What's wrong?" "Jake doesn't know the story. He tried to read it, but he did all the voices wrong, and I wanted you." Emma buried her face in Ryan's shoulder. Ryan looked at Jake apologetically. "I'm sorry, man. I know you tried." "No worries," Jake said, clearly relieved Ryan was home. "She's all yours. I'm terrible with kids anyway." After Jake left, Ryan carried Emma to her room. Amanda followed hesitantly, not wanting to intrude, but curious. The room was decorated with butterflies and books, clearly loved and lived in. "Can you read me the story now, Daddy?" Emma asked, calmer now that Ryan was there. "Of course, Princess." Ryan grabbed a book from the shelf, then noticed Amanda in the doorway. "Emma, this is Amanda. She's a friend. Is it okay if she listens to the story too?" Emma studied Amanda with serious eyes. "Do you like butterflies?" "I love butterflies," Amanda said honestly. "They're my favorite." "Okay, you can stay." Ryan settled on Emma's bed with his daughter tucked against him, and Amanda sat in the reading chair. He opened the book. Not a published children's story, but a handmade one with photos and handwritten text. "This is the story about Mommy and me," Emma explained to Amanda. "Daddy made it so I won't forget her." Amanda's throat tightened as Ryan began reading. The story was about a beautiful artist named Grace who loved butterflies and painting. About how she met a construction foreman named Ryan and they fell in love. About how they had a baby girl named Emma who was their greatest joy. About how Mommy got very sick, but how her love stayed even after she went to heaven. As Ryan read, Amanda noticed how he did different voices for himself and Grace, how Emma mouthed along with words she'd clearly memorized, how this bedtime ritual was about keeping Grace alive for their daughter. When the story ended, Emma looked at Amanda seriously. "My mommy was very pretty. Daddy says I look like her." "You do," Ryan said, kissing her forehead. "You have her smile and her big heart. Do you think Mommy would like Amanda?" Emma asked. Ryan looked surprised by the question. "I think so, yeah. Why?" "Because in the story, Mommy says you should be happy. And you smiled at Amanda at the restaurant. I saw you when I was calling you. Jake showed me the video call. You were smiling." Amanda and Ryan's eyes met over Emma's head, both stunned by a 4-year-old's perception. "Time for sleep, princess," Ryan said, deflecting. "Close your eyes." After Emma was asleep, Ryan and Amanda sat in his living room with coffee. "I'm sorry about that," Ryan said. "Kids say the weirdest things." "She's perceptive," Amanda said. "And she's right. You did smile. So did I, actually, before you got so worried about her." "The guilt is the hardest part," Ryan admitted. "I loved Grace. She was everything. But I also know she's gone, and Emma and I are still here, still living. Grace would have wanted me to find happiness again. She said so, actually, in the last weeks. But it feels like betrayal anyway." "My fiancé told me the same thing," Amanda said. "Before the accident, we'd talked about it randomly, what we'd want for each other if something happened. He made me promise I'd find love again, that I wouldn't spend my life alone out of loyalty to his memory. But when it actually happened, keeping that promise felt impossible. They talked for hours, about grief and guilt, about single parenthood and unexpected friendship, about how hard it was to open your heart when you'd watched it break before. "Can I ask you something?" Ryan said eventually. "Why did you offer to come help with Emma? You didn't know me. You didn't owe me anything, because when you talked about your daughter, I saw someone choosing love over convenience. You cut the date short because she needed you. That's who I want to know better. Not the guy on a forced blind date, but the dad who puts his kid first." "That person is worth my time," Ryan smiled, genuinely this time. "Can I see you again? Not as a date maybe, but as friends? Emma clearly likes you, and honestly, I could use someone who understands all of this." "I'd like that," Amanda said. Over the next months, Amanda became part of their lives naturally. She'd join them for park visits, help with bedtime stories, be there when Ryan needed support. She never pushed for more, and Ryan appreciated that she understood his need to move slowly. Emma bonded with Amanda quickly, asking her questions about butterflies, showing her paintings she'd made, including her in the bedtime story ritual. One night, 4 months after they'd met, Emma looked at Amanda seriously. "You're the one from Daddy's story. What do you mean, sweetie?" Amanda asked. "In Mommy's story, she says Daddy should find someone kind who loves butterflies and makes him smile. That's you. You're the one from the story." Amanda's eyes filled with tears. Ryan, who'd been listening from the doorway, came and sat beside them. "Emma's right," he said softly. "Grace would have loved you. Not because you're replacing her, no one could do that. But because you understand grief, you love Emma, and you make us both smile again. You fit into our story perfectly." "I love you both," Amanda admitted. "But I don't want to rush this. I don't want Emma confused or hurt if—" "Then we won't rush," Ryan said. "We'll take our time, include Emma in everything, and build something real. Something Grace would be proud of. Something that honors her memory while also letting us live." They married 2 years later. Emma was Flower Girl, carrying a bouquet of butterflies, some for Grace, some for Amanda, all for the family they'd become. At the reception, Emma gave a speech she'd written herself. "When Daddy first met Amanda, I was sad and he was sad and everything was hard. But then Amanda came to read stories with us, and she made Daddy smile, and she liked butterflies like Mommy did. Mommy's story says Daddy should be happy, and now he is. Amanda didn't replace Mommy. She just helped us remember how to be happy again." Ryan and Amanda created a new bedtime story to read with Emma. One about a girl who had two mothers. One watching from heaven and one here on earth. Both loving her completely. Do you regret the blind date? Ryan asked Amanda years later. I regretted it at first, Amanda admitted. But then your daughter walked in and recognized something we couldn't see yet. That we were meant to find each other. That your grief and mine could become understanding. That two broken families could become one whole one. Because sometimes the worst dates become the best relationships. Sometimes a 4-year-old sees what adults are too scared to acknowledge. And sometimes, the people we meet at exactly the wrong time turn out to be exactly the right people, waiting for us to be ready to see them clearly. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales about second chances and families built from love and courage. Comment about someone who saw your potential before you saw it yourself. Those people change everything.